Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
I'm not crying. I'm flying Ryan.
Yes.
Please don't.
Welcome to ThorinMutt Podcast.
I
Podcast number 9.
Gaming Mutt / Gabe, whatever you want to call me. You all right there, Thorin?
My throat is still not cleared.
Oh.
Okay.
So, before we start our topics, we should talk about what's new in our lives. And now you will start. So, I haven't uploaded in a month because I've been a busy boy with school and band and personal lives and stuff like that. But this weekend, like Sunday or tonight or whatever, I'll work on some videos or something like that.
Oh, you're gonna work on some videos tonight.
I'll try.
Once.
I'll try. It's already almost 12, so I don't usually stay up that late anyway.
Yeah, me neither. News about my channel, or are you still going?
No, I'm done.
Okay, my turn. Here we go. Okay, I live streamed last night for the longest live stream I've ever done. That deserves a round of applause.
What was that? How long was it?
An hour and 40 minutes. I'll take that. I'll take it. Okay, and new episode of ThorinCraft uploaded this morning. I recorded it last night and edited it, and then I made the thumbnail last night. And then I spent $30 on a year's subscription for this. Well, actually, I didn't spend it. My brother owed me $30. So, yeah. So he just gave me a year's subscription for this really good editing software. That's what I've been using. And now I have HD quality on my videos, people, now.
Neato
burrito, winner, chicken dinner. Chicken dinner. Anyway, let me think. I did a collab video with Gud321.
I should also work on my history, or was it art of film, and we should also put Gud on the podcast once at least, as a guest.
Gud321.
Call him right now.
He's definitely asleep right now.
Darn.
Because his parents are really, really strict with that.
Ha.
Yeah. So even on weekends, except for during the summer, then it's fine. Just not now.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm going to.
I could work on the script of art of filmmaking, because I want to work on that too.
Art of filmmaking, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a class or?
No.
Is that
it's just my own? It's my own personal thing I want to do.
Okay. Another thing going on is
I also want to make music, or not music. I want to work on movie stuff also, more than gaming.
Yeah, I was thinking of there's this dream I have in the back of my mind that I'm gonna make a channel that'll just be music related.
Yeah.
Cause I can play guitar.
Yeah.
And I can sing, so
I can't
do both things. I know you can play guitar because I see one right behind you right now.
Do you think I can actually play that?
I don't know.
It's just there because I don't have any more room.
Oh. Well, at least you have one.
Yeah.
At least you have one.
It's probably horribly out of tune, too. It needs new strings.
Yeah.
Okay, what were you going to say before I interrupted you rudely?
Rudely interrupted me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I've been taking this YouTube class right now, the
Yes.
Creator Studio thing.
Yeah.
You know that's going on, right?
Sure, why not?
It teaches you how to make films and short movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I can start making some more skits and stuff because I want to learn how to do that.
Afterwards, you should teach me everything you learned.
I should, yeah. And you get a letter of completion that they mail to you, so that'll be pretty much the first thing I get from YouTube.
Awesome.
Yay.
You won't get your 10 play button yet?
My 10 play button doesn't come until 100. You're still 19 away from that.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know how many I am. 56 away from that. So yeah, we're good. We're good.
Awesome.
I was gonna say something else. So yeah, if we do a podcast with God321, we're gonna have to do it before
At like
9. Let's do it like 8.
Okay.
Plus, I don't know how we would do that.
I'd have to do that in like my basement.
Yeah, you have to go down to your basement.
Where people can't hear other people scream.
What do you mean, like scream?
It's loud noises. No worries.
You feel like people get slaughtered in your house or something?
What are you talking about?
Because that's kind of what you're saying. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now.
No, I'm not. You're just putting words in my mouth, and I don't appreciate that.
I'm feeding them to you.
You're just putting words in my mouth, and I don't appreciate that.
Well, deal with it.
All right.
Anyway, our topic of tonight, possibly 2 topics, but we're going to start out with 1 topic for now. That topic is stories from our old school.
Elementary school.
Elementary school, because we both switched to different schools after elementary school.
Yeah. Like completely different school systems.
Yeah. I mean, he's in a different city than I am. He's also in a different state than I am.
Yeah, I am.
But okay, so
we're like across the country from each other or something. I don't know.
I'm just kidding. He's not in a different state because we both live in Lincoln, Nebraska. You know.
Yeah, of course.
You know, here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah,
we're not gonna say which school we went to though.
We actually live like across the street from each other. I could just walk over and knock on his door, and you could hear that. You know. See, give me a second.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, see, he just like came right over.
Yeah.
That was really easy. That's all you had to do was just come right across the street, and I'm right here.
We should talk about the elementary school things.
Oh yeah, so
we just wrote down a whole
stories?
bunch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 11 stories to get through here.
So he's gonna teach me all these stories, and I'm gonna laugh because I don't remember anything from elementary school.
Yeah, it's okay. I remember stuff from 4th grade and up, but then 3rd grade and under is just it's kind of just gone.
It's a blur because it's been so long.
Like there's certain things I remember from those grades, but like most of it is just gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, the first one is when you, Mr. Gaming Mutt or Gabe, whichever one.
Yeah, whichever one you want to call me.
When you almost got detention.
Yeah.
In 4th grade.
And you'll never believe why.
I think you know this story.
Yeah, I do. So, in elementary school, we had spelling, things,
like
spelling
tests, and we had to do the spelling workbook thing.
Yeah, those workbooks. I finished my workbook. So, to celebrate my victory, I did the unspeakable... took out my book and started reading.
We were both reading Harry Potter at the time.
Yeah, I started reading, and then the teacher just kind of comes up and it's like, "Hey, you're supposed to be working on your spelling worksheet." And I was like, "Oh, but I finished it. I'm reading now." It's like, "How about you obey, or else you'll get detention?" I was like, "Okay."
Get it? That's not okay. I remember. I'll tell you my side of the story. So I was sitting here at my desk, and I was reading, I don't remember what Harry Potter book I was at. I think I was at number 5.
Yeah.
And you were at 6?
Yes.
The shorter one. 6 is the shorter one. And then I look over, and then your face and you're looking up was like kind of like fear mixed in with your own. Yeah. You were kind of like
fear and embarrassment.
You were
and tears.
No,
sadness.
No, not really tears, but like. So she was like, you're supposed to be doing your spelling book.
I remember. I was like close to tears.
You were?
Yes. Because it was really embarrassing.
In fear and embarrassment?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember her saying, like, if I catch you doing that again, it'll be a detention.
Yeah.
And like
And
I was thinking harsh. And
she
then
told me to obey.
yeah, God321 also went to in the same school in the same class. And then he was getting yelled at by that teacher all the time. Like she made him cry in front of the class.
Could you tell me some of those stories?
Because like
we didn't talk about this before.
Like we used to have to memorize sentences in English. Like we had to like write down these sentences and memorize them. And like he couldn't like recite it. And then she just like yelled at him in front of the entire class, embarrassing him. And he was like he was just crying.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
We also need freeze-dried Rhino on here.
Oh,
I never met him. I haven't even met him before.
I haven't either. Well, I met him on a
No,
game,
I mean I haven't even talked to him.
Yeah.
You've talked to him.
Yeah, I've talked to him once, and then in the comments of the videos that we make. Yeah, but we got to get a few people on here. Anyway, story number 2 was when I got yelled at by the same teacher on what day?
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, of
all days. The day of love.
Of all days, the day of love, Valentine's Day. I got yelled at. Let's not say yelled. Let's say screamed at by the same teacher.
It was the Valentine's Day incident.
Yeah. So okay, so we're doing our Valentine's Day games. Like I don't know what game it was. Like we were in a circle, I remember, and you were in the same group as me.
Yeah.
And then okay, so like this kid named Cooper. He was known for passing gas in class a lot.
Yes, he did.
A lot,
yes,
like a lot. And then
he did it so much. His catchphrase was "excuse me."
Yeah, he actually okay. So I go to the same school as him still, so I see him every day. He does still do that. Like he'll go, "Excuse me." We have this club after school, like where we play board games. I mean, that's pretty fun, you know. And then like, so you're in the middle of this game. This was this week, and he goes, "Excuse me," and like, and then I looked at him. I gave him the death stare, pretty much. I looked right at him. And then he just smiled. Okay, so anyway, back to the story. So he was like standing in the middle of the circle, and he like had his butt right in Gaming Mutt's face.
Yes.
And then like we and you started laughing, and I was like, "What have you farted on you?" And then this teacher was actually known for yelling at kids a lot.
Yes,
the same teacher that made God321 cry.
She slammed her fist on the table a lot too, and she yelled at me and detention, all that. She said that
a lot, like once a day. We even had a conspiracy theory that she had a little like dot on her desk that said "pound here."
Yeah, and she would call people fudgers and say "cry me a river."
She would call. I know she said something about like she said no fudging.
Yeah,
she was like, "No fudging."
And if you try to like explain your point of the argument, like, "Hey, I finished my spelling worksheet. Now I'm reading," she says, "Cry me a river."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So meaning your point is invalid because I don't care.
Your point is invalid. Get out of my classroom.
Yeah,
that's what she's saying right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, then she was like, I'm not gonna say my name. She was like, "Thorin," but she didn't say that. She said my real. She called me by my real name.
Yes.
Well, she called us Mr., our last name.
Yeah.
And she called God321 Pastor his name.
Pastor.
Yeah, I remember that she would call him that because like she thought that he would grow up to be a preacher someday because he can like.
I think she called me Doctor.
Dr. Gabe?
Yeah, Doctor, my last name.
I think she did call you Doctor.
It's like, I don't want to be a doctor.
She called me Mr. Like, okay, so she was like, Mr. Thorin.
I'm going to pass out. Okay, yeah.
Anyway, she was like, Mr. Thorin, get over here.
Yeah.
Sorry for the feedback there. So I remember I looked at you with pure fear. I was like, I know I'm gonna get like destroyed right now.
Yeah.
I know I'm
And
gonna get destroyed.
if I remember, either my face got like really like hot for embarrassment for you, like secondhand
Yeah.
embarrassment, or just like fear.
Yeah, fear for me. Okay, so
Yeah.
I get up there, and she was okay. I know she like grabbed me
Yeah.
like by my hand. She did leave actually like marks on me, which is illegal for a teacher to leave a mark. Like a teacher can touch you, but they can't leave a mark on you. So
Yeah.
she did illegal things. Okay, and she was like, you do not disrespect the kids in our class like that. You do not do that.
Mm-hmm.
That is so disrespectful. You have like disgraced this entire class. I've had enough of that. And I'm just like, what did I do wrong?
I just remembered one thing, and then she like brought you up to the front of the class, like, "What if everybody laughed at you?" or something like that.
Oh,
I remember
yeah,
that.
she did. No, she didn't bring me to the front of the class, but like she kind of like said it loudly so everyone would hear. She's like, "What if everyone laughed at you? What would you do then? What would happen there?" And then she was like, "You're sitting right in this chair, right next to me. You're done playing the games for the day." So I'm sitting there almost in tears, like I'm sitting there like, woo. And then this kid named Alex, woo,
Yeah.
that guy,
Yeah, that kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like he looked at me and he was like kind of laughing, and I like, I remember I gave him a really like dirty look. Like I looked at him like. Like, oh. I was embarrassed.
Terrified.
I was embarrassed and like heartbroken.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I think I felt like I was in your position too, because I was like involved a little bit.
Yeah, but me and you were just laughing. Like I didn't know what I did wrong. She just kind of like yelled at me for no reason.
I don't even know if she even heard us.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she may have been hearing somebody else in the class, and then she thought it was me. So then I get yelled at, and then she
and Cooper didn't even. Yeah, Cooper didn't even care.
Yeah, he didn't even do anything.
Yeah, he didn't like cry or
didn't even, like
punch him in the face.
Yeah, I don't even think Cooper like looked or cared. I mean, but this teacher like scared me.
Yeah.
Like some days I'd come into class and she'd be yelling at a kid. Like so, I mean, I don't want to go into school and the first thing I hear is the teacher yelling at somebody. And that happened quite a bit.
Yeah. And then I became her favorite.
Huh?
I became her favorite by the end of the year.
But her favorite was this kid named Isaac throughout the whole year. And then you became her favorite at the end of the year.
And that kid just got like a pass on everything. I remember one thing. Remember that like muscle thing, Like that project we had to do?
Oh yeah, I did the rib cage.
Yeah, I did the bicep, and I had this thing where if you put the arm up, the bicep would go up, and I was like, oh, I'm so proud of this. And I got like a B. And this kid Isaac just puts on a video of like a Saturday Night Live skit, and he gets an A.
Really?
What is that?
Wait, he put on a Saturday Night Live skit?
Yes, of like
in 4th grade?
Of like muscle dudes. It was like the skit was like two Russian like bodybuilders.
Yeah,
I was
like, that's
hey,
a 4th grader watching Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
He got an
A. He got an A. He didn't even do anything.
Yeah, mine was. I think I got a C on that. Oh man, my drawing was pure pure terror of a rib cage. Like it was like the rib was shaped like this, like shaped like a horn, like this kind of. I don't know if you can see that or not.
It looks like a banana.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was like.
Yeah. Okay. So should we go on to the next one?
Next story is the time Guthrie21 destroyed the glass door on the way out to recess in the middle of winter. This is the one where I don't think the Gaming Mutt's going to be talking much.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, he wasn't at school this day, but I was like,
I'm going to be laughing.
It scared me. So Guthrie21 used to be like a really big kid from like 1st through 3rd grade.
Yeah, and then we all caught up to him.
Yeah, and so So this big kid, he's like running down the hall to go to recess in the middle of winter, so he has like all his snow stuff on. And then he like there's these two doors at the end of the hall, and they're like made out of glass. Like kind of thin glass, like they're really old doors.
You mean like it had like a frame of like metal and like glass in the middle?
No, it wasn't metal, it was wood. Like just these doors that you would just open. Then there were metal ones.
Yeah, I kind of remember them.
Okay, so like he's running really fast, and we're all like running behind him. And then like so like the thing where like you run into it and like with your arm and like push it open.
Yeah.
And with extreme force to get it open. It's like he's running super fast down the hall, going like this. He reaches the door. He hits it and then down onto the ground he goes. And I remember him just like flying through the air. Like the time of him in the air, his feet were not even touching the ground. His like whole body was in the air when he touched that glass, and then smack right on the ground.
That
and
school
like
was a mess.
Yeah, and then I'm already starting to think that school was pretty bad. Yeah, so this kid's on the and then these two kids in front of me start laughing, and I'm like, why are they laughing? Like, I was, like, scared. That scared me. I did not expect that to happen. Like, he's just running, and then I remember the sound it made. It was like and then, okay, so he had a cut really close to his eye. But if he wouldn't have had that snow stuff on, he would have had like a serious injuries, probably. So he had to go to the hospital. I shouldn't be laughing, but like he had to go to the hospital to check because he had some broken glass in his arm. So yeah, that's about that for that story.
Would you explain more? Were there any teachers?
There was his mom. His mom was a teacher there.
Oh yeah, wasn't she like kindergarten or something?
She was the kindergarten teacher there.
Yeah. No, did any like teachers run up and just like?
Well, Mrs. I'm not gonna say her name.
The second grade teacher.
Yeah, the second grade teacher was right there. It scared everyone except for the two kids who started to laugh.
Did the second grade teacher start laughing?
No.
Did the fourth grade teacher come up and?
I'm actually surprised that I didn't laugh right now. I mean, it's like how many years later? Second grade through 10th grade or whatever grade we're in right now.
I don't know, 8 years.
8 years or so later, and now I find it funny.
Yeah, I just imagine the fourth grade teacher, the same teacher that yells at us a lot, just grabbing him. Is like, "Why'd you break the window?
Huh?
Why'd you break the door?"
Yeah, and all right, let's move into a new story. We have the time. Okay, I wasn't here for this one, but I'll tell what I heard about it. Were you there for this one?
What was the story?
The time that the kid knocked the projector.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, neither of us were here.
We'll
take it from the story because God321 was there.
Yeah, he was
actually almost involved in it.
No, I think it was God321 and Alex that were involved.
God321 and Alex that were in there. Yes. Okay, so God321 is there.
Yeah.
In the morning, and okay, so old schools. Well, okay, me and the Gaming Mutt are from a different time. You younger kids watching this will not understand. Now you got your smart boards and all that. We used to have these projector things. So they'd be in this cart, this big, huge thing with this light and this mirror, and it would the light would shine on the paper, and you'd have to have this clear, this special clear paper on there that would have the text on it, so it would project onto the wall. So it's like a classroom projector. Mm-hmm. And these things were made of glass.
Well,
and,
they had
plastic.
The screens had glass.
Yeah, the screen side was glass. Okay, so Alex and God321 are running around the classroom, and they're fooling around, and they're playing and stuff. So we have the projector on the cart right there, and this cart's on wheels.
Yes.
And this cart isn't very heavy, and neither is the projector. Well, the projector's pretty heavy, but the cart, but it's not. It's light enough that it can be bumped off.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened. So these kids God321 and Alex are running around. I think it was Alex, his foot bumps the cart. The projector goes,
yeah.
Glass spills all over.
Yes.
All over The ground. I just thought of a new story from
Oh,
3rd grade. I'll say that one
we'll
next.
say that one next.
Yeah, and then
So
glass spills everywhere. Projector is completely trashed and non-fixable.
Yeah.
I think Alex got a check for that.
Check.
Yeah, you know the check system, like
Yeah,
5 checks
yeah,
equals detention. I think he got a check for it.
I think it would have deserved like 3.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like they were just fooling around.
Maybe 5.
Gun 321 got off just scot-free.
Yeah. Okay, what was the story you thought of?
Okay, so this was in winter, and we had these plastic snowmen hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like by a paper clip and fish.
I kind of remember those.
One day in the middle of class,
yeah,
one of those fish lines decides to break, so all of a sudden this giant snowman goes onto the floor in the middle of the aisle between the desks. And then and I remember it was right next to mine, so all of a sudden just falls right off, and nobody was messing around either. It just falls off. It just falls off.
The school was falling apart.
It is, and we're only on number 5. And there's so much more bad stuff. Well, okay, we're at the bad stuff, but then there's some good stuff after this. So okay, so anyway, and then our assistant teacher, everyone liked her.
Was it 3rd grade?
3rd grade, yeah. And she had to pick everything up, pick it all up off the ground. It was funny.
I think the only thing I remember about her was she was looking at a newspaper, and I remember on the cover of the newspaper was an advertisement for the movie The Watchmen. But I thought it was a Target or not a Target, a Walmart commercial, because it was one of the yellow smiley faces, you know.
Oh yeah.
From Walmart, and it had a blood splatter on it. I was like, why is the smiley face bloody?
Yeah, that's traumatizing. That's traumatizing and creepy.
Yeah.
But they both kind of mean the same thing. But anyway, moving on to story number 6.
Yeah.
We have My Bloody Nose is what I titled this one. My Bloody Nose. Okay, in 2nd grade, me, little kid, you know.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there in class. All of a sudden, I get a bloody nose because, air and stuff, the air pocket thing, where you hit one randomly and all of a sudden you'll get a bloody nose. Mm-hmm. So I decide I'm not going to let anyone know that I have a bloody nose. I don't want anyone to know. So I put my head on my arm, okay? So I put my head like this in my arm, and I'm not moving or talking, and then all of a sudden the teacher calls on me. And I remember I was thinking, oh no.
I think I looked back at you.
Yeah, you did, but first, I was thinking, oh no, oh no, I am not going to look up. I'm just gonna stay right here and not say a word. So they were like, okay, I'm gonna say Thorin again. So they were like, Thorin.
I'm happy you said Thorin. I'm happy you said Thorin because I almost said your actual name.
Yeah.
No, I think they were like, "Are you okay, Thorin?" And they thought you were crying or something.
Thorin, are you okay? All of a sudden, this dot of blood rolls
down his arm.
Like this drip of blood rolls down my arm, and everyone's like, "He's dead." Everyone was thinking he's dead, and then I look up, and the blood's just smeared all over my face. And then I remember saying I had a bloody nose, and then they were like, "Well, go to the bathroom right now." Which reminds me of another story of something bad happened.
Was there a puddle on your desk?
Huh?
Wasn't there a puddle on your desk?
There was a puddle of blood all over my desk. I would not want to be the teacher who had to clean that up.
Yeah. Okay, what were you going to say?
Okay, so in 1st grade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know those old school scooters, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so these scooters, you did the thing called the flying squirrel where you would run and then you jump on them.
Yeah, I remember.
So I was running really fast in gym class, really fast, and I jump on it and I miss it, and the scooter goes shoo, and I go flying. My tooth sinks right into my lip.
It sounds like it hurts.
Right into my lip, and the blood was just right all over the floor.
I think I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
By the way, your face is going crazy. It's all pixely right now.
Oh, there's probably something wrong. Okay,
No, it's back to normal. Okay, anyway, like, okay, so, like, it's just, like, my tooth sinks into my lip, and the blood was just falling, like, spraying all over.
like an anime, where
Pretty
like
much,
when
yeah.
someone gets their head decapitated.
Pretty much, yeah. And then I had to be dragged out of the gym by the gym teacher into the bathroom, and I needed like an ice pack and everything. My lip still has a scar there.
Dragged.
Drugged.
Were
I
you
think it is dragged?
Were you dead?
I was yeah. Technically, in a way, I was dragged. Because like I was like limping, like I was like, like this is first grade me, so like I was like bawling, you know. So I was like,
I imagined it like you just like went out cold, and you just had to get dragged.
You mean like the person from the Willy Wonka movie, like the lady where she's like,
yeah, that just passes out,
just getting dragged out like that. And then yeah, and overall story, I have a scar on my lip.
Yeah.
It's like right here.
I have a scar on my head from running into a wall, but that wasn't school related.
No. I know that story, but we'll save that for a different podcast. Anyway, okay, and now to another story that happened in first grade.
Yeah.
There was this kid named Caleb. And he was known for being like the wild kid. Like he would chase us around at recess. I remember I would be going like, running away, and then you would be doing the same thing, be like, running away, and so would God 321 be running away. Like all three of us be running away, and then this kid named Josh would be running away. But Josh is actually 2 o'clock. He's only been in 2 videos. So 2 o'clock, Guthrie Twin, the Gaming Mutt, and Thorin are all getting chased by this kid named Caleb. And so like 2 o'clock is over here, and he's going like, run away. And then Guthrie21 is like trying to tackle Caleb, and then me and the Gaming Mutt, we're just running. So me, the Gaming Mutt, and 2 o'clock are running, and then Gud321 is trying to tackle Caleb. But I think Caleb like hurt Gud321 once. But anyway, the story about this. So once again, he's chasing us around at recess. He's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm chasing you all around. Somehow, a bee like got into his shoe, like went into his shoe. He steps on the bee, and then it like stings him in the foot because he's like going like, and all of a sudden, and then I remember him sprinting over to the school where the teachers were, and then I was like, what happened? Like all of a sudden, like I didn't know he got stung by a bee, because all of a sudden he's chasing us, and all of a sudden he screams bloody murder as he's like sprinting back to the school. And then, like, we're all just like curious to what's going on. We get back to class, and like he's not in class, like he's still in the office. He's still in the office getting like treatment and stuff. So the teacher said he got stung by a bee on his foot. Somehow a bee got into his shoe, like went into his shoe, and that is strange.
It could have like stung through his shoe or something.
Yeah, it could have done that, but I think it got into his shoe. Yeah, that's about it. And then now to a new story. Okay. It's this one. I'll let you name this one. This happened in 3rd grade.
The kid slipping.
Yep, at the musical. Our Christmas musicals were so cheesy. We had to do you were forced to be in it. Forced to be in a school play.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice.
You had no choice to be in that or not. Like,
and
it's just that's it.
Once you were in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, you just had to have a speaking part.
Yeah, you didn't have to, but like it was kind of required. But okay, so this kid, it's little 6th grade. So like during some songs, we would be standing on the stage. Others would just be standing on the bleachers in the gym. Because like we had these portable stages, and like they looked like tables, which I believe they were tables for the longest time until I actually found out that they're stage parts.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are actually pretty slippery because you're forced to wear socks on the.
Mm-hmm.
You're forced to wear socks on these
because it would be too loud with the shoes on, and it would be gross without socks.
They didn't want the stage parts to get like scratched up. They were really scratched up though. They still use those same ones to this day. They still do, yes. And then we get to this song where us third graders are going with the first graders. Like they would split it up into classes. Like okay, so like sometimes the second graders would be singing with the fifth graders, or like the first, second, and third graders would be singing all together. This time was just the first and the third graders, and that was it. So we're walking up there. Always the highest grade was getting on there first, so we're already there. This kid, like this little kid, like is running on there. He's like, all of a sudden, as I mentioned before, these stage parts are slippery.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, boom! He slips, and he falls down. And I remember him going, or something like that when he hit the ground. Like, and then he got him. He was like, "Oh, what was that?" And he said, "I'm okay." And like our music teacher, I remember him looking up, like looking up the stage, like, because like it goes black, so like the audience can't really see anything.
Yeah.
So the audience, all of a sudden, they're hearing boom in the middle of like the blackness. The kid was okay. Okay, the kid was okay, and I think that kid goes to my school right now.
The music teacher was a jerk. I remember that.
He was a jerk.
I remember that. He used to yell at us for no reason.
Yeah, he would yell at us.
Yeah.
I remember him yelling at us a lot.
And he always wore scarves.
Yeah, he wore that same scarf at the musical. It looked like a piano.
Yeah. Oh.
That was a really stupid scarf.
Yeah.
He only wore it once a year, but like the kid, boom, just right down. Because like the sound that those stages make when your feet. Okay, so anyway, this is the sounds that you hear when it goes black. And then all of a sudden you hear it really loud. Oh, like 10 times that.
Yeah.
And then the kid went, oh, when he hit the ground. Yeah. Okay, that's it for the bad things that happened.
Wait, did you have trouble not laughing after that?
I laughed. Well, I remember I looked over at you. And we were both like, because we used to do that all the time. Like when we would sit at like assemblies.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then okay, so that's it we have for like bad stories that happen. Now here's for like the good times that happened when we were at this school.
Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll and let them never stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have Knights of the Square Table.
Yeah, Knights of the Square Table.
Okay, you all have seen the cringiest ThorinCraft video, ducks, right? Where I get these ducks.
I did. I saw it.
Yeah, everyone liked it,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't. Hold on a second. You can talk about it. I gotta let Catty Cat in.
You mean like the ducks, or
yeah? Talk about the ducks and like the Knights of the Square Table thing.
All right, so me, Thorin, and 2 o'clock, I guess. In 5th grade, we they had like a competition in school, and you won ducks, and we all won ducks, and we had just like a whole bunch of tinfoil for some reason. So we'd make like armor for the ducks, and then we made a castle for the ducks.
Made out of paper.
No, I thought it was tinfoil.
It was made out of paper. We made tinfoil helmets and swords for them.
Oh, yeah. It was just the tinfoil for armor and swords and weapons, and then it was paper for the castle.
Yeah. And 2 o'clock made it all.
Yeah. Well, we helped a little bit.
Like, you all know Clacky the Paintball Champion. Well, I'll say more like, Clacky the Paintball Champion. Because that's what I sound like in the video. This was like just Quacky. That was it. This was the original Quacky.
Yeah.
That we turned into it. You got the Angry Duck.
Yep.
Like the mad version of him.
And I threw it away, I think. Of course, I think I named mine Sir Quack-a-Lot or something like that. Something stupid.
Yeah, I don't remember what mine was named, but I know it was really, really stupid. Like, it was
Quack-
all stupid.
Quackson. And I think the teacher, like, she was very nice, but she made us throw it away or something because it was just in the way.
Well, yeah, it was there for like half the year.
Yeah, and it was in the way of the textbooks, wasn't it?
No, well, we had to throw it away at the end of the year because, like, she was switching rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like on the last day of school, like pretty much everything in the room was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Kitty Cat? Yeah, Kitty Cat says yes. And
the square table. Could you explain what the square table was?
Well, okay, the square table was what 2 o'clock made up. Like so we had these ducks there, and like he was just, yep, there they are. Yep. And then he like builds this, and he makes this table in the middle made out of tinfoil. Just like one tinfoil thing in that entire thing, and like it's square. So then he was like, "Why don't we call them Knights of the Square Table?" Because like, isn't there like Knights of the Round Table or something?
Yes.
That's like a movie. So he's like, Knights of the Square Table.
That's a story.
Oh.
That's a story.
Oh. Well, he's like, we're Knights of the Square Table. He also made a chest. Like, that would open as well, made out of paper. And then, remember, like, he made it open, and then you could, like, put the swords and stuff in it.
Yeah.
It was cool, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never knew how he could do that stuff with paper.
Mm.
Like, he knew how to make really cool paper airplanes as well.
Probably had a lot of tape.
It was a lot of tape involved. I don't know how it didn't, like, fall apart. What did he put in there, like, that made it stand up?
Probably, like, toothpicks or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he used toothpicks.
Yeah.
In it. Yeah, so anyway, now to a new, like, story. And that is the games we played at recess.
Yes.
There was always, like, okay, so 5th grade and 4th grade and 3rd grade each had a different, like, thing we would play every day.
Yeah.
1st and 2nd grade was just, random stuff like kickball or baseball or football or something.
Was it 2nd grade that was Star Wars, or was that Lord of the Rings?
That was 3rd grade. 3rd grade was Star Wars. We would just play Star Wars all the time. Like, I was Anakin.
I was a dude named Commander Fire.
Yeah, 2 o'clock was
He was
Captain
a clone
Rex.
trooper.
2
He was a
o'clock
clone
Captain
trooper.
Rex. Yeah, 2 o'clock was Captain Rex.
And
God 321 was Commander Cody. And I know what 2nd grade was. That was Transformers.
What? Transformers.
Yeah, I remember I was like, I'm just a truck. Like, I'm just a normal truck.
like you weren't
but don't
anything.
care about me because I'm just a normal truck.
Like you weren't like a transformer. You were just a truck.
I'm nothing special. I'm just a truck.
I
probably said it like that as well.
I was probably like Bumblebee or Optimus Prime.
No, that was 2 o'clock.
2
o'clock was involved with pretty much everything we played.
Yes.
Like, I'm just a truck. And I remember, like, this gray semi thing, and I'm like, yep, that's what I am. That's what I am. Go have fun with it.
I suppose you didn't like it, like playing Transformers.
No, I didn't, but I had to spend a year with it, so. Yeah, 3rd grade was Star Wars. 4th grade was Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. I was Ron and you were Harry.
Fame isn't everything, Mr.
And I think 2 o'clock was Hermione. I don't know.
Yeah, no, 2 o'clock was. What was? Okay, you were Ron. I was Harry, and I think 2 o'clock was Voldemort. No, 2 o'clock was Dumbledore. Because then we did like the Dumbledore versus Voldemort. I remember we were going like, like like from the 5th movie, like where they're like.
Noah was Voldemort. Noah. He was Voldemort.
My chair's fixed. Okay, yeah. Noah was Voldemort, and 2 o'clock was.
Some other kid was Hermione. I don't know.
I think 2 o'clock was just like a normal student. Someone was just a normal student. Well, because 2 o'clock got the game, Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4 or something, and like when you walk by people in the game, they go, and then the girls go, and then like the old people go, and, like the normal, like the normal kids just go, and then the girls and the women go, and then the old wizards and stuff, they go like, and then Draco Malfoy goes, duh! That's actually the sound he makes. He makes that sound. It's so good. Yeah, so I think he was just like a normal student.
And he just
like
went, all the time.
Yeah. 5th grade was Lord of the Rings.
Yay.
I was Frodo.
I was Pippin.
2 o'clock was Mary.
And Noah was Sam.
And he was like, I Sam, and I ate a lot of meat and food. Like he did something like that.
Mr. Frodo. He always went, Mr. Frodo.
And it was like, well, in the movie, he's like, Mr. Frodo, Mr. Frodo, we gotta go, Mr. Frodo.
What about poor old Good? Where was he?
Where was he? He was something. Well, remember in 5th grade we were kind of like mean to him.
You were
mean.
You were mean to him.
Yeah, I was mean to him, and so was 2 o'clock.
I was stuck as a bystander the whole year.
No, you were actually like you were the only one who was nice to him, or who didn't bully him in 5th grade. So
you guys were so horrible.
I know. I'm like really ashamed of what we did to them, because like now we're all friends. Because now we're all friends. You don't have to.
I don't have to point at you.
Yeah, we're all good now. Because like I made friends with him at the end of 5th grade again. Like our friendship was reunited at the end of 5th grade, because we were like awful to him. So I remember in the middle of winter we had like a foot of snow, and he was making a snowman over here. We had like built this fort. So I remember I ran over there and I was like destroyed that thing, like just like blasted that thing to smithereens, and it was gone. It was like not there anymore. He was like, oh man, I felt so bad because he started crying, and then I felt so bad, and so did I remember looking at 2 o'clock's face, like when I'm not gonna say her name, our 5th grade teacher, she was like, you guys cannot be doing that, and I remember I was looking at his face, and it was like, like it was just like that, like pure regret in that face, pure regret.
I just remember the time when he tried to bring a camera into the locker room.
God, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yeah, remember his deodorant?
Yes.
It was like,
he would spray it everywhere.
He would go, like, he would do that. He would go just in midair.
He would just spray it in the air and try to kill us.
I remember we would always like, God! Well, we wouldn't call him God, but we'd call him by his name. We'd be like, God, 3, 2, 1. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Quit trying to kill us.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, and then I made friends with him because, like, all of a sudden, because then I was like, so one night I was just sitting there at home, and I was like, you know what? What's the point of bullying him? He's like, because, like, okay, we had this track meet that everyone was forced to compete in. I totally failed because I'm not a runner.
I just didn't go. I stayed home that day.
I wish I could have. My parents made me go, but so I failed at what I was racing in. Okay, I got last, but I was like just walking around, and everyone was like, "Go, yeah!" And I was like, okay, my face was red with embarrassment, and when I think of that, I still have nightmares about that.
Gotta taste your own medicine, there, buddy.
I still have nightmares about it. Well, okay, so I still have nightmares about that. It was awful. That's probably like the worst moment of my life. Because then the next year,
what about the Valentine's Day incident?
I did the 100-meter dash, and there was this like really big kid right next to me. So I was like, and this like, here's me, and here's the big kid. I was like, compared to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good times. And then okay, so like we were in the middle of the football field that's in the middle of the track, like there usually is. We were like punching. We were in a fight with him. We were
Wait,
like
what?
shoving him. We were shoving God 3, 2, 1, like shoving him, pushing him over.
Got in a
like,
fight with him?
Yes, me.
Yeah,
2 o'clock.
I definitely was gone that day because I don't remember.
Yeah, it was me 2 o'clock versus God 3, 2, 1. He was just letting it happen. Like I was like shoving him, pushing him over, like smacking him in the face. And then so then that night I was like, you know what? What's the point? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to him? He's not doing anything to me. So I write this note, and I was like telling him, I'm really sorry about everything I've been doing. I hope we can be friends again. And then I give that to him. Friendship reunited. And then I get a call from him, and then he like invites me to do stuff, and that was the first time we ever hung out outside of school.
Yay!
Well, actually, no. In first grade, he went to my birthday party.
Because you knocked him in the face.
I know. That was when that was pure regret there of everything I've ever done. I still regret it. Moving on to another. Oh,
wait! I have one question. Did you punch him in the chest and then grab him by the shirt and just headbutt him?
No, I think I kicked him. Like when he was on the ground, I kicked him.
He was on the ground?
Well, I pushed him over.
Jeez.
I know we were playing nasty to him.
You're a bad person there.
I know we were playing nasty to him that day, and that year I just want to forget it. I think he does too.
I was a good person that year. I was a good person every year.
Yeah, he didn't really get into that much trouble except for the first story we told. Okay, anyway, next story is the tape recorder I brought to school, otherwise known as the thing that made the first ThorinMutt podcast in 2010.
What year was that?
2010.
Oh.
Okay.
No, what school year?
Oh, third grade. So or fourth grade, or third or second grade. I'm not sure. So we bring the tape recorder, and it's actually just this cheap MP3 player that's like $20 now. Well, actually, right now it's probably like $5. It was like $50 at the time, though, because everyone liked MP3 players at the time.
Yes.
Okay, this one was called a Go Gear. Everyone probably knows the Philips Go Gear. I mean, come on, who doesn't?
I don't.
How? It's probably like one of the most. It's like the most high quality, like, things you can get next to the Go Gear Vibe. That's the new one. But anyway, so I bring it to school this one day, and like you and me are just like going like, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and like that's all you're talking about, because like I watched it the night before, and that was all you're talking about. And he was like, it's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, yay! And then I bring it around to Noah and 2 o'clock, and God 3, 2, 1 is nowhere to be found in any of those recordings.
Mm-hmm.
Then I brought it back the next day because
it's a green blob.
Oh yeah. And I brought it back the next day, sorry, and to show you guys. I mean, to like let you listen to it, and then all of a sudden, the teacher's like, "You can't have that," and that's exactly what but she was a woman, not a man. But her voice was, "You can't have that."
You can't have that.
You can't have that.
You can't have that.
So like me and you were just listening to this recording I made at home, and we were just like going. And then, okay, so that's not how our laughs were, but we were just, laughing, But, because I had earbuds, and we were just like, one earbud, buddies.
Earbud buds.
And then, okay, so I have this in my ear, and then you were listening to this recording, and it's, like, completely ridiculous. Like, I was going, like, all over in there. And I was like, here, let's listen to I'm at school right now. Except I was at home, and I was like, I'm at school right now. I'm going to, like, bring you around the classroom. And I'm like, listen to the conversations going on. And then I'm like, going like, so, because, like, the whispering around the class. And then you go like, hey, Regan, what? I like you. Okay. Like, there was stuff like that in there. Like, girl conversations,
Oh. Okay.
Your face is just... like, what?
I'm so confused.
I know you are, but anyway, yeah, and I brought it once more, because Alex was, like, messing up a ton at the devotions. No, they weren't devotions. They were, like, announcements.
Was he in the announcements or something?
No, like, class announcements. Like, you had to read this newsletter thing, but they called them devotions, but they were just announcements. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, like, he was like, and tomorrow is, and he was like messing up. So I recorded it all, and then like the teacher comes like, can you go into the hall with me for a second? He's like, Alex wants you to delete that recording. And I was like, okay, I'll do that right now. I didn't.
You're
It's
just
still
a
on there.
troublemaker.
I didn't. It's still on there.
You're just a troublemaker.
I know, but it's still on there. It's still on that MP3 player.
Imagine all the enemies you'll make if all the kids in our class just watch this one podcast.
If everyone watched this one podcast, they'd be like, "You're giving out our names."
It's like, I hate you guys.
You guys are awful.
Thanks for making fun of me getting stung by a bee and me getting falling during a live performance.
Yeah. Or like, thanks for telling me that I was the best in the class and that I just showed Saturday Night Live and I got first place. Or whatever it was. And then, okay, so the last story is the drawings me and you used to do.
Yay.
You know how I used to do drawings?
I still draw. Yeah,
I do too. Like in the middle of class if I'm done with homework, because usually I do finish like with 10 minutes or so to spare at the end of class.
I put my time in my work.
Well, I do too, but... Well, you know. But anyway, like in first grade, our best drawing was VeggieTales.
Oh, yeah.
The Adventure.
I don't even know
what happened in it. I have no clue what happened in it.
I remember.
I know it was like, yo, and they were like rappers, and they'd be like, yo.
I remember. Okay, so Larry and Bob were in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
They were in the desert, and a meteor crashed and killed Bob or something like that.
I think there was something that involved, like, a party from, like, Bob's cousin, and, like, the party was just a single balloon.
Larry started crying, and his snot fell down onto Bob, and Bob became huge.
Oh, yeah,
and then
I remember that.
They, went onto a lake or something, and then they went somewhere else, and then they got caught by some peas that were cannibals, and they were gonna cut up the broccoli kid. They were gonna put Larry into a soup, and they were gonna squeeze Bob into tomato juice. But then they challenged him to a rap, like a rap off, and
and their raps were yo.
Yeah, and they were so good.
Yo.
They were so good that the peas exploded.
They were straight fire.
Yeah, the peas exploded, I remember that. Except for one, who started frowning.
Oh, yeah. And then I made an episode 2, which I did a Star Wars version. It was his VeggieTales 2, Attack of the Peas. And I was like, that is such a clever name. You gotta admit that is a clever name. That is a clever name, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
It is a clever name. But I never finished that because I was like, this is awful. This is just this is trash.
Do you remember any of it?
All I remember is that it was exactly the same as Attack
It was
of
the
Clones.
same story.
Yep, same storyline. So it was the ship.
Who was Padme?
VeggieTales people. I don't know who Padme was. I think it was the blueberry girl or the peach person.
And who was Anakin and Obi-Wan?
Anakin was who do you think Anakin was?
Larry.
It was Larry, and then Bob was Obi-Wan. So yeah, that's about it. Well, I drew every single Star Wars movie in Lego form. In this single yellow notebook. I don't know what happened to that yellow notebook. It's non-existent. I wonder whatever happened to that.
Yeah, it's probably in a trash can or something.
Yeah. But I spent a lot of work. I don't remember my grandparents came to my house this one day and I was like, look what I drew. And then they were like, wow, you're such a great drawer.
And then they brought you to therapy.
Except it was that stuff. So yeah, it was the stormtroopers I drew were triangle heads because I took that from you.
Then they saw your picture of Larry and Bob Adventures. And they brought you to therapy.
No, they brought me to the insane asylum.
And the doctor's like, so you have a thing about crushing peas, exploding peas.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning. Let's talk about that. Because that's what that just reminded me of. I think they're also podcast people. We just copyrighted. Copyright.
So, I'm trying to remember other drawings I made.
Let's talk about that.
I would always make a Star Wars comic. I had my Star Wars comic book series. Remember that?
Oh yeah, your comics, like they were stick people.
Yeah, I remember.
I also did the same.
Each story was the same thing. The main characters from like their Republic ship would fly to the Separatist ship, fight some battle droids, fight the main bad guy, and then escape before the place exploded. And for some reason, the pilot would die. The pilot would die every time, almost. I remember there were 3 main characters. There were Commander Fire, Commander Cody, and like Pilot, I don't know, Jerry.
Pilot, what's his name?
Pilot Jerry.
Yeah, it's so cliche. Like, your story is so cliche.
And they would just go on adventure. I remember feeling so awesome when I made a different storyline where they flew to the Separatist ship and they crashed onto a planet. And Commander Fire got picked up by some like random like tribal girl or something like that, and he had to work together with his main enemy guy to survive. And then like the Republic's like saved them and arrested the bad guy.
Well, that's kind of weird. I remember I did Star Wars comics, and I made up like part 6, like through part 6, and it was like, what do we want in Anakin? Go to this. Or just saying, I'll find battle droids, and this kind of the first comic, part 1 is the same as yours, like where they crash on the planet, and then they find this guy, and he's like, alright, I don't know what his name. It was Mace Windu or somebody
Darth
like that.
Vader.
And then they were like talking about this guy who was like the Sith apprentice guy, not Star Wars The Force Unleashed related. No, not at all. Anyway, like the I don't remember. Like the things that he says are like you're gonna die or something like that.
Imagine how many Star Wars nerds are gonna be like, "You're going against the timeline. Fix it. Your comic book is going against the timeline. There were no Sith apprentices in 19 BBY."
Maybe it's you who's doing that.
I don't know.
You're going against the timeline, guys. Go stick to the real thing.
Excuse me, in the month 35 of 19 BBY, Anakin was on a planet. It's Glibglob. He wasn't on your dumb planet fighting a dumb Sith apprentice.
You're like Glibglob. Okay, then we made up this story called Matt and Bob. The Adventures of Matt and Bob. Yes. Coming to a theater near you.
That was more your thing, so teach me.
Well, it was me and 2 O'Clock's thing. Then you and 2 O'Clock made a part 2.
Yeah, sequel.
And then I made a part 3 in 6th grade.
There was a character named Holy Bear.
Holy Bear, yeah, he was the bad guy. And
there's Honey Bear.
Honey Bear was the good one, which was Holy Bear's secret brother. Matt and Bob. So Matt was this guy who had like really long hair.
Yes.
And then Bob was just this like guy with short hair. That's all I know. That's their details. That's what they look like. And then like
there was Bob the Bee.
Yeah, Bob the Bee, which was me and this girl named Paige made up. And Holy Bear was in our story. So anyway,
so this is a whole universe. This is like a whole universe you're creating.
Yeah, Bob the Bee is in this universe because Bob the Bee made a guest appearance in part 3 that I made in 6th grade.
I don't think I've ever seen part 3.
No, I have it. It's in like this folder that my parents made, like that has all my papers in it. Like, I can make a copy of it and show it to you.
Do you have it with you right now?
I wish. We should do like I can do a podcast myself where I just read that thing and then upload it to this channel
and show pictures of it.
Yeah, I will. But what about like parts 1 and 2? I don't have either of those.
I don't remember any of this.
I might have part 1. No, I don't.
Wasn't Holy Bear on top of Big Bear Mountain or something like that?
Oh yeah, Big Bear Mountain was like Smuggler's Run. We found this like mountain in the game that would like spiral up, and then there was Long Bear Mountain that was impossible to get up, but I actually managed to get up it like recently. Long Bear Mountain and then Big Bear Mountain, and then there's like people on top of Big Bear Mountain that you can run over. It's fun to do that because then they go flying like. But anyway, Matt and Bob, that was a pretty good.
A good run.
It was a good run. It was a good run for Matt and Bob, but their time is all up.
What happens to them in part 3?
Okay, so part 3 is pretty long. Okay, so like, this guy on TV is like, hi, what happened in it? I don't remember. It was like, Holy Bear has been like found and is like extremely powerful right now. And then like, so they have to go. They're on the sea, and it's like a raging sea. It's like, and those are correct sound effects as well. And so they get off the ship, and then Bob gets captured by Holy Bear. So then Bob the Bee comes up to Matt on the ship, and he's like, "Can you go find him?" And they find him on this island. So go on this island. There's this guy named Vincent on the island. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, you cannot get through. You can't get, no. That's a no-no." And so then they're like, "Man, how are we going to get him back?" So then they defeat Holy Bear at the end, and they find Honey Bear. Oh, that's what it means. They're trying to find Honey Bear on the island. And then Bob gets kidnapped on the sea by Holy Bear. Then they finally like get him at the end. And that's about it.
Yeah.
And then I also made like a comic book. I actually have that. Like it's over there. I'm looking at it right now. I made that in 4th grade.
Okay. You mean the second book?
No, it's this like comic book thing.
First book, whatever. What's the comic book about?
It's like Matt and Bob just doing like there's a season 1 thing, you know, and it has to do with like that'd be Matt more and like Bob meeting this guy, these guys named Matthew and Josh. Like, and they meet those two, like Matt, and then there's Matthew, and then Bob is Josh, and they both look exactly alike. Like Bob looks the same as Josh, and then Matthew looks the same as Matt. And that's about how it goes. And then they meet Honey Bear, and then that's about it.
So should we talk about the book that inspired me to write a book that I'm working on right now, and I might publish one day?
Oh yeah. So in 5th grade, I made this book.
It was 4th grade, by the way. Oh
yeah, through 5th grade. So I started writing this book. I did finish it, so I was like writing it on paper. And it was like called The Adventures. That's what actually the name was, just The Adventures. 75 pages, everyone. And it was like a complete book. Really bad, though. Really bad grammar. I want to find that so bad. No one can find it. I know it was not thrown away.
My book was 200 pages.
Yeah.
Beat that.
I can name all the characters. There was James, Jake, Angie. I'm going to change that name because I hate saying that name. Like, it's an awful name to say out of my mouth.
What name?
Angie. Like,
Angie.
say it. Just say it.
Angie.
Like, I don't like that name. It's bad.
I know someone named Angie.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, she weird?
Last year we always called each other trash.
Trash garbage?
Yeah, it's like garbage.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Anyway, and then there was Brian and Bill. Such clever names. James, Jake, Angie, Brian, Bill. The only clever one I could think of is Angie, because that's like not a common name, really. And then it's in the story, the first book is called The Electricity Man. What a great name. I'm changing that name. Right now, I'm rewriting them.
Electricity.
I'm rewriting them.
Yeah.
But, right now the name is The Electricity Man. I'm going to change it eventually. I'm actually rewriting it right now.
Bolt guy.
I don't know what to call it. I think I called it like a bolt in the dark or something.
Yeah, that's a cool name. I like that name.
But I'm not sure. Anyway, like in the book, they find this temple that's like on the edge of their city. But like in this new, like while I'm rewriting it, like this city has like a backstory to it. Unlike this book, like where it's like, oh, it's modern, but it's Harry Potter. like the book. So they had wands, and like the exact spells from Harry Potter were in this book.
Yeah.
But it was a 75-page book, and it was actually done. Like, it was 75 pages.
Does this take place in the same universe as Harry Potter?
I'm sure. Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna do this one while I'm rewriting it. I don't know if it's gonna be wands and like Harry Potter spells or not, or like swords or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, and then God 321 also made it. So like I had my adventures, you had yours, and then God 321's was the Abajello. Remember that? The Abajello.
No,
like,
I don't.
He made a map for it. It's like we were each making maps. Mine was 3 sheets of paper long. But
I remember that.
God 321's was like, here's one paper.
It's like giant.
Yeah, the Abajello is what it was called, and we called it Jelly World because we were being mean to him. We were making fun of him. But anyway, off that. So like I wrote this book, and then they find the Electricity Man. It's Harry Potter spells, and there's this guy named Hiron, who's a minion. Like I don't know what to call him minions. I think I might call him like Dark Heroes.
Ah.
Dark Heroes.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
Like instead of minions.
Like Fallen Jedi. Or like Dark Jedi.
Heroes. Dark Heroes is what I'll call them.
Kind of like a
the
gray
servants.
Jedi.
They're the servants. Okay, so there are 7 different bad guys. So there's the Electricity Man. They're all combined with each other. The Electricity Man, the Crook, the Dementor King, Harry Potter, of course. The guard, which I was thinking of Jango Fett. I was thinking it would look like Jango Fett. The guard, the monster, the witch, and Lord Vesuvius. Lord Vesuvius. And they're all combined with each other. And these dark heroes are all like servants of them, and like they have them each at different places. But they eventually James defeats the Electricity Man. And he meets this like creature named Gulbo, which is Gulbo.
Yeah, Gobo?
Gulbo. Gulbul.
Gulbo.
Gulbo. Like Gulball, but Gulbo.
So, 1 second. Are you writing it on like a Google Drive or something like that?
Yeah, Google Drive.
Okay.
I only have like 2 pages done. But anyway, then they defeat him, and that's about it. And then they're gonna embark, and then it ends with them embarking on their journey, because then they journey because they're gonna defeat every thing until they get to. Okay, so you know how there are 5 of them. By the end of the series, only 2 are living.
Oh.
So that's the sad part. So Angie dies in book 4. First one to die. Bill dies in book 5. James, who you think is the main character, dies in book 6. And then it's just Brian and James left in book 7, parts 1 and 2.
Is Brian the main character?
No, it's Jake.
Darn.
But okay, so Brian, like the 7th book is such an epic thing. Like I have it all planned out as well. Okay, so like part 1, they travel back to the castle, which is like not in the Mordor land, like in the forest area, kind of like Rohan in Lord of the Rings. So they're at the castle where James's father is, because James' father is the king of that castle. Yeah. So he's over there, and then they tell him that his son is dead, and they bring his body there as well. So then they travel through the forest, which is technically Mirkwood. Brian gets captured by an Indian tribe thing. Yeah. He gets tied to a stake. They rip out one of his eyes.
Oh jeez.
The stake is burning. Jake comes and saves him. So at the end of this book, Brian is leading the troops through the land of Vesuvius, which is the Mordor land. And he's the hero basically right now. So here's Brian, and he's leading these forces. There's this huge battle going on between the dark heroes and the king's heroes. Yeah. Just the normal heroes and the dark heroes all clashing together, and Brian's one of the leaders. While Jake is in the giant castle, the giant place where Lord Vesuvius is. James is fighting, Lord Vesuvius, and all of a sudden the ghost of James appears
Mm-hmm.
and helps him to defeat him. And then it ends, and then, like, that's about it.
So I got my part of the story. So I didn't know about this book until one day you came up to me. Because back then I was known as the artist, not the writer.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, could you draw the pictures like between each chapter? And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And it's like, yeah, for this book I'm writing. And I was like, I didn't know you were going to write a book. And I was like, I was jealous. I was like, I want to write a book. So I started writing my book. And it was pretty much the exact same thing.
The exact same thing?
Yeah, it was like, but I topped you a little bit. There were 6 main characters rather than 5.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, I see.
There were 6. The bad guys, there were
8 of them.
No, there were 5. I think 5 or 6.
Taught me there.
And it was like a big kingdom, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really taking it seriously. Like, I remember the original idea was that the main villains were being controlled by the ghost of their leader to, like, bring them back. And that the main villain, which is the main villain now of the story, dies, like really early in the book. And then comes back to life later. There's Catty Cat.
Yeah, Catty Cat's on my lap, but now he's on my desk.
And originally one of the main characters was gonna die, like, immediately afterwards. Which was very stupid. I don't know why I thought about that. None of the main characters really die in this book. Oh, there's another Catty Cat. And I remember, almost as like a shout-out kind of thing.
Yeah.
The king had royal guards, you know? Like royal knights.
Yes.
And there were 3 or 4 of them, and I named them after students in our class. There was you, there was 2 o'clock, there was Cooper, and there was Christian.
Got 3, 2, 1?
Yes.
You just said his name.
Whatever. No one's gonna watch this far.
I know.
No one's gonna be watching this far, so you know.
Only one person has watched our latest podcast, anyway.
It's probably me.
2 now.
But I changed the characters completely from you guys to their own characters with their own goals and life, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. But we're at an hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah, we should end this now.
Longest podcast.
And it's 1 in the morning, so I'm going to go to bed after this. So,
yeah.
You know what?
It's a world record longest podcast.
Yeah. In this light, my hair looks darker, and I look like Leafy. Just a little bit, don't I?
Kind of do. I thought we weren't talking about him anymore.
I'm sorry, I just had to mention it because I look like him right now.
In a way, you do. Anyway, so I guess that's about the end of this podcast. We've been doing a lot. Like, there's been a lot of stuff going on in this one.
Well, this was number 9.
Number 9, yes. Number 9. About wrapping up. I knew you were going to do that. I thought you actually did do that. Like, I saw you go like this.
Don't tell them what I did.
Okay, I'm not going to tell them what you did. Here, I'll give you a hint. There. That was your hint. If you follow dank memes, then you'll know what that means. You know, like that. Like the bass. Henry.
All right. Okay,
He's eating pizza.
Let's end this.
All right. So
I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah. All right. Move.
All right. See you later. This was a good podcast. Thanks for watching ThorinCraft. If you got this far, you're stupid. Why would you watch this far?
So this is Stampy Longlegs with the Minecraft dedicated Wham outro. So goodbye.
Bye.